the show.
Buy me some peanuts
Some Cracker Jacks.
I don't care if I never get back. Let me roll.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is May 18th, 2026. So, you guys know what that song means. A little bit of inside baseball. The whole episode, it's not going to be a whole episode on inside baseball. So, as far as updates, went to work, good night at work, came home, did some dishes. I made weed eat the front yard. That's about it. I wanted to address a comment on Spotify, do a little bit of inside baseball. And you guys can look at this for proof. This is old school Dave. I have never seen a hype button on one of your videos. I curse YouTube relegating all my buddies. And I just commented back. Oh, there it is. I guess it's different on Spotify. I hear you, man. I think it's rigged. Wanted to talk about this for a second. Minutes of Horror. I mentioned him last podcast. I mentioned him quite a bit. I'm actually like a big fan of Minutes of Horror. He has commented on a couple of my comments. He's given me hearts in his comment section. I would love to do work with him. Here's the thing. I love Minutes of Horrors and Minutes of Seconds work. But he's like super tight with Truth Seeker, and me and Truth Seeker do not get along. We've kind of had an ongoing beef in comment sections, and I think Truth Seeker's like very toxic to the community. And you guys know me. I don't come out here gunslinging. I very rarely do gossip and shit, but I would love to talk to Minutes of Horror. Minutes of Horror is cool as fuck. I would love to work with him in the future. But the only thing that worries me is like that he works with Truth Seeker, and I'm like, hopefully that wouldn't cause no beef or nothing. But Minutes of Horror did a video. He did a post about it. Because you can post on YouTube now. I do quite a bit of posting. Do you guys even see my post on YouTube? I'm just curious, because I know you guys see the ones that I put out, but the ones that I share, I'm curious in general. But Minutes of Horror said that he's having the same issue with the hype button, that everyone's saying they don't get the option to hype his videos. And I love, Old School Dave is a long-time listener, so I love hearing this, because I already had a feeling, bless you, I already had a feeling that it was rigged. YouTube never does anything to benefit the smaller content creators. That's just how it is. It's the truth. It's sad, but it's the truth. They hate us smaller content creators. One day I'm going to have to show you guys how many strikes I had. This channel almost went down during the COVID-19 pandemic, you know. I was screaming at the rooftops, and I almost got my channel destroyed. They hate us. They hate the truth community, the conspiracy community, whatever you want to call it. Minutes of Horror said that there is an option to turn off the hypes. The hype option, you can shut it off. I'm not going to do it because he has like thousands of subscribers. So, I mean, I love him to death, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, what are you bitching about? I've been a content creator in the conspiracy community for 11 years, and I've only got like 500 subs, and you've got thousands, and you're bitching. And by the way, I'm super thankful for 500, but it's like, I hear these like bigger content creators bitch sometimes, and I'm like, do you not have the love of the game, the heart of the cards? Like, Do you not enjoy doing this? Because I do this out of enjoyment, because it makes me happy to do this. And you've got thousands of subs and you're bitching about a little bit of shadow ban. Like, you ain't shadow banned, dog. I'm fucking shadow banned. I've been doing this for 11 fucking years and I got 500 subscribers. Bitch, shut the fuck up. But I'm not gonna shut off the hype option. I am glad that someone has said, like, hey, the hype option isn't even popping up on YouTube, because I kind of knew that was coming. I did a whole episode on the whole hype option. Go check it out. I will link it down below in Spotify. If you're on YouTube, just go into the Inside Baseball playlist and you will find it there. And I kind of give my 2 cents and thoughts. I already knew it was going to be a rigged fucking game. YouTube never does anything to benefit the creator unless it's like Mr. Beast or someone who's Rockefeller funded. You know, like Mr. Beast. Alright, let's get on with the show though. So, last episode was a interview that I did with Mirror D80s. Go check him out. Go check the interview out. It's the second interview I've done with him. I created a Mirror D80s playlist because he's cool as fuck, and I see us honestly working together with multiple episodes within the future. I'm actually trying to plan one out with Red Pill Paradigm, because me and Mirror D80s were kind of talking after the show, and he's like, hey, like, it'd be cool if, like, you know, we brought on, like, a third party, you know, and he even said, he's like, I don't mind being the third wheel, because he's kind of a quiet guy. I mean, you guys seen the interviews, he's kind of a quiet dude. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't be a third wheel, you know, but it's okay if you're quiet, you know, there's not, I talk enough that I could sit there and grab the mic and talk all night, you know. I'm a crazy person. But yeah, so I'm trying to set one up with Red Pill Paradigm and Mirror D80s. I would love to have a 3-way podcast with them. We can chat it up, some conspiracy shit, some video game shit, because I know Red Pill Paradigm, he plays video games, because me and him text back and forth on a personal level, so that'll be cool. But anyways, reason I brought up Mirror D80s in the last episode is we brought up Digital ID that is slowly creeping into Australia. So, if you're an American like myself, King Charles was over here the other day. King Charles III, His Majesty, was over here the other day, and he was visiting with Trump, and then Trump just now here recently went over and was visiting Xi Jinping from China. Their prime minister or their ruler, whatever, is I don't know what they call the Chinese ruler, but who cares? Their lizard lord, you know. Anyways, after King Charles left America, he came back to England and did this speech for 2026. So this is the actual transcript of the King's speech of 2026. And the reason I bring this up is England already knew it, dude. They tried to force digital ID on England earlier this year. I think we covered it. Go check out the digital ID playlist if you're listening on YouTube. We've done several episodes on digital ID. They're trying to fuck around with us over here in America. They're fucking around with them over in England. And the episode that I put out yesterday, they're fucking around with them in Australia. This digital mark of the beast shit is going on everywhere. So, England, their people fought back enough to where they postponed it. And even the people were saying, like, they were celebrating, but they were smart enough to know they're still going to push this through. They're just postponing it. They're not stopping it. We didn't stop them. We won the battle, but we didn't win the war, if you know what I'm fucking saying. So, Charles, here's a picture of him. He's all dressed up like yeah, he's all dressed up like Sauron from Lord of the Rings, because they still got royalty and they got wizards and knights, and there's an old Doug Stanhope joke about, do you all have wizards over there? And by the way, I'm not making fun of you as an Englishman if you're a listener, but it is ridiculous. Like there's people dressing up in royal crowns and garbs and scepters and shit. Like, it's fucking nuts. I love being an American because we said fuck all that shit, you know? Don't get me wrong, our president is a fucking moron, but at least he wears a suit and tie. He doesn't dress like a wizard, you know? So in this speech, I'm going to read it verbatim. And I will put on my lobster back English accent. And there's one specific thing in this speech where he's basically like, yeah, we're going to push forward digital ID. So let me go take a piss, and I'm going to prep myself mentally as an actor. And I'm going to be King Charles III, and I'm going to read the King's Speech of 2026 verbatim. Alright, so I don't have a scepter or a crown, but I do have a nightstick that I hang on the wall that I could beat the fuck out of motherfuckers with. So I'm going to have my nightstick with me. That way I feel a little more royal. I wish I had like a Burger King crown. That would be kind of cool. So I could pretend to be a magical King Arthur figure. Because that's what we need in modern 2026 society is King Arthurs and wizards. And I wonder if they still have court jesters. By the way, like I said, I'm not making fun of the citizens of England. I'm making fun of their fucking monarchy or patriarchy or whatever the fuck it is. Some sort of archy. So, my lords and members of the House of Commons, an increasingly dangerous and volatile world threatens the United Kingdom. With the conflict in the Middle East, only the most recent example. Every element of the nation's energy, defense, and economic security will be tested. So, already there's a threat in the Middle East. I wonder who started that. I'm sure King Charles had nothing to do with that. I'm sure Donald Trump had nothing to do with that. I'm sure Israel and Netanyahu, Bibi, or whatever his name is so stupid, by the way, Bibi. How dumb of a name is that? Bibi. My name's Bibi. Sure, they have nothing to do with that. But it's a threat. Be scared of the Middle East, you know. My government will respond to this world with strength and aim to create a country that is fair for all. My ministers will take decisions that protect the energy, defense, and economic security of the United Kingdom for the long term. They will defend the British values of decency, tolerance, and respect for difference under our common flag. Sounds good. I mean, that don't sound bad, but I'm sure there's some darkness in there. And they will harness the potential of the pride felt across this country for its communities. My government will take urgent action to tackle anti-Semitism and ensure all communities feel safe. Okay. This is what ticks me off, dude. In America, they're trying to do this shit right now of infringing on the First Amendment, of anti-Semitism. So, if I criticize Israel and the government of Israel, that makes me a Nazi and anti-Semite. I have no problem with Jews. I've never actually been friends with Jews because I live in Kentucky. I've seen Jews. Once in a blue moon, I'll see a Jew out and about. I'm sure if I sat down and hung out with them, I'd have no problem with them. As long as they follow the Torah and not the Talmud, you know. But it's the point. I had an argument last night because I creep around in other people's comment sections. Somebody was saying, hey, I got my channel deleted during COVID-19. And someone commented and they said, good, I'm glad your channel got deleted. It's probably because you were putting out ludicrous information. Or it wasn't ludicrous information, it was you were putting out something along the lines of whatever you were putting out was like ludicrous, you know. And I said, who cares if whatever that person was putting out was ludicrous? I said, we live in America, motherfucker. We should be allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. First of all, you're an adult. Or I should hope so if you're using the internet. If you're not and you're a child, go check out the episode I put out called Leave Your Door Open. Second off, take responsibility for your own fucking mind. I can read. I used to have a copy of Mein Kampf. I have a copy of the Quran. People go, oh my God. Oh. I would like to purchase the Satanic Bible because I can read something and I'm not going to get brainwashed just from reading it. I would like to get a copy of Karl Marx, you know, Communist Manifesto and shit. Marxist Manifesto. I would love to. Just to read it, just to see what it says. Anytime someone tells you you can't watch this or you can't read this, they are insulting your intelligence. They are saying that you will automatically be brainwashed. They're insulting your intelligence. Put your big girl panties on and just take responsibility for your own thoughts, your own fucking mind, dude. This anti-Semitism shit pisses me off, though, dude. Who cares if you're anti-Semitic? You should be allowed to be anti-Semitic. As long as you are not physically harming someone, yeah, you should be allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. If I want to say fuck the Jews, I should be allowed to say fuck the Jews. Sorry. Freedom of speech. I'm sorry that you guys got to deal with this shit over there in England, man. So, my government believes that the United Kingdom's economic security depends on raising living standards in every part of the United Kingdom. My ministers will support measures that maintain stability and control the cost of living. They will use public investment to shape markets and attract further private investment. They will deploy the power of an active state in partnership with business and enable reforms that support higher growth and a fair deal for working people. So that all sounds good. I hope that you guys, that all goes through. Sam Tripoli says the Bank of England is behind it all. So I was listening to Conspiracy Social Club. Go check them out. It's Sam Tripoli. Tonight, their newest episode. And they were talking about... Sam Tripoli always says that the Bank of England is behind everything. And he finally got proven right. So, one of the people on the show was like, hey Sam, you're going to like this. Who do you think that America owes the most money to? Because we owe everyone money, you know. Even though we're the strong arm of the world, you know, we're the bad guy who comes in and beats the fuck out of people. And my first thought was Israel. Nope, not Israel. And then my second thought was China. Nope, not China. He said the people that we owe the most money to are Japan and England. And I said, holy shit, I didn't even think about them. But then I started thinking, Sam Tripoli said, Bank of England, dude. I've been telling you all, Bank of England is behind everything. Bank of England is behind everything. And that gets into like Washington, D.C. is not part of the American country. Walt Disney World's not part of the American country. It's like I think they're like sovereign states or something weird. It gets into maritime law and shit. City of London, the Vatican. There's multiple places that are like their own separate fucking country, and they don't have to abide by the rules of the country that they're actually in. It gets weird, it gets crazy, it gets into sovereign citizenship, it gets into maritime law. It breaks my brain, but I get it, but I don't get it. It's kind of like loophole shit, you know? Bank of England, dude. My government believes that improved trading relations are vital for the United Kingdom's economic security, for significantly raising economic growth, and for lowering prices. Okay, so he's just kind of repeating himself now. And for lowering prices for the working people, my ministers will introduce legislation to take advantage of new trading opportunities, including a bill to strengthen ties with the European Union, the EU. That's never fucking good. They're antichrist shit. My government will also support the economic security of British businesses. Legislation will be introduced to tackle late payments, small business protections, late payments bill, and to reduce the burden of unnecessary regulation through innovation. So, he's expanding his empire in layman's terms. American terms. A hee. So, the United Kingdom's economic security depends upon world-class infrastructure. Legislation will be introduced to unlock the benefits of airport expansion, civil aviation bill, which that one I find interesting. So, benefits of airport expansion, because here in America, they're shutting all the flight travel shit down because we're going like lockstep with the whole Agenda 2030 Great Reset of they don't want us flying. So that one's a little weird. Doesn't that go against the Great Reset? Enable roads to be built at pace, including the Lower Thames Crossing highways. I have no clue where that is. And deliver a fair deal for the north of England through Northern Powerhouse Rail Bill. So, railways, I mean, that could be good, but I mean, the Nazis built a lot of railways before they shoved a bunch of people into camps and burnt them. Sorry. My ministers will continue to take all action necessary to safeguard the domestic production of steel, the steel industry. So, we're almost there. We'll get to it. My government will also improve the United Kingdom's security by continuing to invest the renewal of public services. My ministers will push forward with significant reforms to the police reform bill, the National Health Service, NHS, that's not good, modernization bill, and to the criminal justice system, courts modernization bill, to help them deliver services to the British people expect. Legislation will be introduced to increase confidence in the security of the immigration of asylum systems. Immigration and asylums bill. My government will improve critical. So, increase confidence to the security of the immigration and asylum. So it sounds like they're just gonna let more fucking immigrants in to y'all's country right there. I'm not English, but I've seen y'all's Muslim population and what they're doing to England. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to be nice. I'm not English, but I see from the outside looking in, and I talk to a lot of people from England, and I see what immigration of Islam has done to y'all's country. That's all I'm going to say. My government will improve critical infrastructure with legislation to clean up the water industry, the Clean Water Bill, and establish Great British Railways. So, the Clean Water Bill. I find that one interesting too because I don't know what's going on over there as far as England, but they're building data centers over here like crazy, dude. Our water is going to be polluted and fucked. All these data centers are going to suck up all of our water. Do you know that asking 3 questions to AI literally uses up 2 bottles of water? And once that water is gone, like, that's it. And it has to be fresh water. Because I even thought, well, why can't we use ocean water? Nope. It's got to be fresh water. Like, we are going to have a water shortage, dude. And I keep up with the stock markets. My dad was a wolf of Wall Street. He played around with the stock markets. He didn't actually, like, go to Wall Street or anything. But he was a stock... He played with stocks. I actually have a bunch of stocks in Walmart before Walmart blew up. I'm possibly a millionaire. I just can't get my hands on the keys to those stocks because my dad's in prison. So I could literally be a millionaire right now, but I literally can't get to my dad and get the keys to those stocks that I own that he bought me before Walmart blew up. I literally could be a millionaire right now, and I literally can't get to the keys, to the flash drives or whatever he has it on, you know? It fucking sucks. All right, so here's where we're going to get into the digital ID. I'm sorry, England, and they're doing it over here, dude. They're pushing it through over here. Go listen to that Mirror D80s episode that I put out last episode. They're pushing it through in Australia. They're going to push it back through in England. So right now, if you are an Englishman, you need to be fighting tooth and fucking nail because Mark of the Beast is going through. As much fighting as you guys put out last time, you need to put out twice as much because your king is saying it's coming through. And this is the last paragraph that I'll read. But my government believes that the United Kingdom should be a country fair for all and a place where every child is included in the nation's highest aspirations. Why is a creepy ass king so concerned about your children? I mean, we all know why, but you know what I'm saying? This lizard sausage finger motherfucker. My ministers believe that every child deserves the chance to succeed to the best of his or her ability and not be held back due to poverty, special education needs, or a lack of respect for vocational education. My ministers will continue to invest in apprenticeships and measures that tackle youth unemployment. They will respond to the Milburn review of the Mr. Tim review, and continue to, if you know that Easter egg I just put there, let me know. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So, Mr. Tim's review and continue to reform the welfare system to support both young and disabled people to flourish and work as the basis for long-term economic security. A bill will be brought forward to raise standards in schools and introduce generational reforms of the special education needs system, the Education of All bill. My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID. My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services. The King of England has spoken in the year 2026. This was the speech of the King in 2026. Digital ID is still getting pushed through in England, in the United Kingdom. Y'all need to fucking fight back tooth and nail. is Mark of the Beast, bro. They're trying to pull it over on us over here. They're pulling it over on them with our brothers and sisters in Australia. And now they're fucking with you guys in England and the UK. Fight back twice as much as you did last time to postpone this shit. That's all I gotta say. There's the Foreboding King speech. I wish you all the best of luck. You have much love from here in America, from me. I see you guys as brothers and sisters, not enemies, because we came from you guys. We came from you guys off the Mayflower and shit. You know? I'm part English. Part English, Irish, and Scottish, but I'm part English too, you know? I love y'all. Be careful and cheers.